Hello, welcome to another video. This is going to be a reading vlog for kind of the last full week of Magical Readathon. My aim is, ideally, fingers crossed maybe, I would like to try and read. I'd like to try and read 100 pages a day. Whether or not that happens, question mark. So the books I'm currently reading. I've got Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. I'm really enjoying this one. I haven't got it with me because it's upstairs, but I'm also reading Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. I'm not enjoying that one. I hate reading it. You'll get many rant reviews. I'm also reading Rouge by Mona Awad. I'm not really enjoying this one, but I've got to read it for work. Well, it's not that I'm not enjoying this one. It's not my style. I also guess I'm still reading The Wind Through the Keyhole by Stephen King, which I have not picked up in over a week. So yeah, that one's fun. So that's my reading plans for the week. I want to get Foul Lady Fortune and Rouge finished for sure. I would quite like to also try and finish Defy the Night as well. And I would like to start something else. I think, so the next book on my TBR for Magical Readathon, well, there's three potentials. The next prompt I want to tick off is the Earth in the title prompt. And now I've got two options for that one. I've got a comic that I found on KU called something like Earthlings 2, which it's a comic. That'll be quick to read. So I've got a comic called Earthlings 2, I think, which comic, going to be quick to read, could read it in like basically one sitting. I don't know how long it is, but a comic is not going to take me long to read. Con, I think it's a Superman comic, and quite honestly, I have no interest in reading Superman. So it's one of those where I would be reading this for no other reason than to fill this prompt. I know it's not a type of story that I'm going to enjoy because I don't like Superman. It's not that I don't like comics. To be honest, it's not, well, I don't like superhero comics particularly. I don't like superheroes. I don't like superhero movies. I don't like superhero comics or books or stories, anything. But I particularly dislike Superman. Can't tell you why. Don't know why. Just don't like him. So I could read that. Or the other option for the Earth and the title prompt is The Obelisk Gate, which is book 2 of the Broken Earth series. That's the book I would like to read, but depending on when I start it, and I mean where are we? It's the 21st today. I'd need to get it started literally by Wednesday, by the 23rd, I think, if I could get it read before the 31st. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one of the other books I'm reading finished before then so that I can read The Obelisk Gate. Ideally, I'd like to have finished Foul Lady Fortune and one other before I start The Obelisk Gate, just because I'm going to need time and concentration to read The Obelisk Gate. And I don't think I'm going to get that if I'm reading 4 books. So there are my plans for the week. I just want to get something done. I've only read 5 books this month. Yes, I'm currently reading 4, so if I can get those ones done, we're good. But I'm also like, I'm 3/4 of the way through the month and have not really finished anything. The stress is starting to mount. I mean, when I say the stress is starting to mount, I mean that in a tongue-in-cheek way, honestly. If I don't complete my Magical Readathon, what's the worst that's going to happen? Literally nothing. I literally won't care. But, you know, I would like to finish it. Anyway, I'm going to get ready. Hello. So, I wanted just to check in. Like I said earlier, Hi, Bracken. Can you please go away? Please. Thank you. So, like I said earlier, I'm going to just have Bracken's face interrupting me. I kind of hate reading Defy the Night. So I read and didn't particularly enjoy the Kirsty Dark and Only trilogy. I think I gave all of the books either 2 to 3 stars. I didn't particularly like Bridget Kemmerer's writing, but they were super quick reads. And again, I kind of hate read them and just rant review to them because it was fun. And that's basically what I'm doing with Defy the Night. So, don't have the book on me, but I'm 50 pages in, and I'm already... Bracken, go away. Go and settle down. So I'm 50 pages into Defy the Night, and I feel like I already know what's going to happen in it. So the book's 450 pages, just to kind of put us in context here. We've met Tessa. She and her friend Will, or Wex, her friend Wax, I think he's called Wex. They steal this flower called the moonflower, which is the only cure for this disease that is ravaging the lands. We've also met Corrick, who is the prince, and he is in charge of basically distributing this cure. So he is set up as the bad guy. 50 pages in, my theories... Well, first of all, let me give you my kind of thoughts. Not the biggest fan of the setting. I don't know what Bridget Kemmerer is trying to do, and I don't know whether she's got herself muddled or whether she is... whether this is for a bigger reason, but... The setting is very much a medieval setting, you know, castles, moats and baileys, there's, you know, no technology. Yet electricity exists. As far as I'm aware, no other technology exists, just electricity. And at this point in time, I don't know why. I don't know why there is electricity but no other technology. And when I say no other technology, they steal this flour, they grind it. There's apothecaries who grind this by hand into mortar and pestle and mortar, and make the potions themselves, small batch, by hand, because that is the level of their sort of healthcare technology. All of the writing is done, you know, by hand, by quill. There is no sort of... It honestly, it feels just very kind of jarring that we've got this medieval setting with electric lights, but nothing else. And it just seems weird. So that just kind of, it just honestly, like, it sounds silly, but it does take me out of the story. The other thing, I feel like I already know where the story's going. I feel like it's going to be very, very predictable. So my theory, and apologies if I inadvertently spoil anything, I think I am going to do this as a spoilery, like, rant review vlog. So if you want to read Defy the Night and you don't want to be spoiled, just go away and come back later, please. I'm going to be talking spoilers. Well, I don't know if I'm talking spoilers at the moment because I haven't read that far, but I'm going to be potentially talking spoilers through this vlog. So my theory on the vlog, on the book, I think Wex is going to die. He's probably going to be caught as a smuggler and, like, I don't know, whatever they do to smugglers. Shoot them, chop their heads off, I don't know, whatever it is they do. I think Tessa is then going to somehow fall in love with Corrick, and they're going to be like an enemies to lovers. But I think this is going to be one of the really irritating YA enemies to lovers, where there is no tension whatsoever. She will dislike Corrick for a perceived slight. He will just be pining after her because she's not like other girls. And then by the end, they'll fall in love and live happily ever after. I also have a theory. We met another kind of side character who's one of, like, the king's, like, advisors, maybe, called, like, Alisan. I'm going to call him Alexandra because I can't actually remember his name. Alexander? Alisandi? I don't know, something like that. We'll call him Al. Anyway, I feel like he's going to end up being the big bad. So obviously throughout this book, Corrick is going to be the baddie. We're not going to like him. And then at the end, it's going to be revealed that actually there is a big bad and Corrick was always doing the right thing. Ah, bless. What a shock. And I think that Alexandra, Al, he's going to be the big bad. I think he's potentially set loose this illness So he lives in one of the 2 states that control the moonflower, that grow this moonflower, the only cure. So he basically controls the cure. So I think that he probably set it loose. He's got some kind of like, he's maybe like working with the smugglers to sort of, you know, mean that there's not enough cure available for everybody. He's the big bad. He's the one that the overall series is going to be fighting. But that's my theory. So far, it's going to be a rant review. Ovs, we can probably tell that. Not loving it. Probably sitting at like quite a solid 2.5. That's quite a generous rating actually for the 50 pages that I've read, probably nearer to. I'm going to continue reading because it's very fast paced to read, and like, well, that's it. It's very quick to read. I do feel like I know what's going to happen. I feel like I know what the character beats are going to be. I don't think there's going to be any surprises whatsoever. And I'm saying that partly because I'm slightly grown out of YA, but mainly because I feel like Bridget Camera's writing doesn't sit well with me. I feel like from reading the Curse of Dark and Only trilogy, I feel like her writing is very basic. There are really basic set plot points. I don't think she does twists well. I feel like they are shoehorned in and are spotted from a mile off. So yeah, I mean, let's see how it goes. Maybe I'm being totally mean for no reason, but we'll see. Final check-in for me before I go to bed on Monday night. I have read 177 pages. So I've done my 100 pages a day challenge. That was basically made up of Defy the Night and Foul Lady Fortune. I'm enjoying Foul Lady Fortune. It's a really fun read. I like it. Defy the Night, you've just seen, not the biggest fan. But yeah, Foul Lady Fortune's really good. It's probably sat at the moment at about a 3-star, maybe a 3.5. I am enjoying it, but I don't feel like the plot has kicked in enough for me to rate it higher just yet. However, I have a lot of faith in Chloe Gong's writing, and I know that the plot will kick in and I will be obsessed. But yeah, they are my thoughts and what I've done today on day 1 of my try and read 100 pages a day. Hello, welcome to my bedroom. So I am reading Defy the Night. I'm up to page 142, and I think on the last update I gave, I said basically how Wes died. What I hadn't said before that is that my original theory was either Wes was going to get killed, or he was going to turn out to be Prince Coric. Anyway, pretty much immediately Wes gets killed, my theory is proved correct. Now my second theory is also proved correct, because he's not dead, he is Prince Coric. It's so this is my thing, right? I feel like with Bridget Kemmerer, and I mean no offense to Bridget Kemmerer, I'm sure she's a lovely woman. I'm not an author, you know, I can't do what she does. I just don't feel like she's a very skilled author. Her plots are very, very basic. I feel like she's not very good at putting in things like foreshadowing and, you know, red herrings and Easter eggs. Her plots are very black and white and straightforward. I mean, the fact that I guessed the first 2 plot twists by the 50-page mark, to me, proves that they are blindingly obvious. Yeah. I was resigned to the fact that I would be like rant reviewing this one, which, you know, maybe I still will, but it also could very easily just be a DNF, because they're so easy to read. Like, Bridget Kemmerer's books are so quick and easy to read. mainly because they have no complicated plots, very limited plot anyway. But they're just, there's no intricacy, there's no cleverness in them at all. And this isn't against them, being YA, because I've read a lot of YA fantasy, and a lot of YA fantasy does have plot intricacies which are really clever and do make you keep on guessing. And I just feel like Bridget Kemmerer doesn't do that. It's a writing style more than anything else. The characters also, I honestly, like, okay, I understand why I don't understand Wes / Caxton, Corrick, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, I can't remember his name, and I literally just put the book down. I understand why I don't know his motivations, because we've only just discovered that he is who he says he is. But I should know Tessa's motivations, other than the fact that her parents were killed. I don't know why her parents were killed. And even with Corrick, I feel like I should be able to go, it's now been revealed that he was Wes, and I feel like it should go, oh, of course, because XYZ. And there isn't an attempt of that. I can see the attempt being made. Wes feels, what's his name, Corrick feels guilty for being like the evil prince, but rather than changing his behavior, he decides to just take an alter ego. Like, it doesn't really make sense. And there are plot points as well that just, I feel, I'm 150 pages in, and there's plot points that I just feel aren't fleshed out enough that they should be. For example, Corrick and his brother Harrison, whatever, H. Their parents were assassinated, and we don't know why. Now, for me, I feel like there's two ways you can approach like a plot like this. Either the reader knows the reason why and who did it, and the characters don't, and so the reader has additional information, or the characters and the reader are both not knowing what happened, but there are clues and we are all together going on a journey to find out the reasoning. However, Bridget Kemmerer seems to have gone down almost a third option of nobody knows what happened, and that's just accepted. So we don't know why their parents were assassinated. They just were. They were greatly loved, king and queen, and then they were killed. And it seems, like there's been a couple of lines where Corrick sort of said, has dropped in that he doesn't know who or why killed his parents, but there's no investigation. He doesn't seem to like actually be trying to find it out. And yeah, it's just quite basic, to be honest. I am wearing shorts, by the way, I'm not naked here. So yeah, second part of my rant review. Probably catch you tomorrow for the next bit. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, and just thought I would jump on quickly and update my final page count for yesterday. So yesterday I only read 89 pages. I mean, I say only, that's still a lot. And so I made progress in Foul Lady Fortune and Defy the Night. I think you've just seen my Defy the Night thoughts. We will see. It's one of those books where I know I'm not going to enjoy it. I know I'm finding it incredibly predictable. It's not well written, but at the same time, I kind of want to know what's going to happen. Hi, Bracken. Just because I do. This one wants to go out, which is why she's being incredibly irritating, aren't you? Don't give those puppy dog eyes. Hey, beautiful girl. I am really liking Foul Lady Fortune. But again, I expected to like that one. Bracken, can you just get off me? Thank you, good girl. So, yeah, 8 to 9 pages across the 2 of those books. I am going to go out for a walk now. Little Miss wants some exercise. And I've read a few pages of Foul Lady Fortune today. I think I've read like 30 pages this morning. Maybe not quite that many, I don't know. But it's really good, I'm enjoying it. And I'm going to, again, try to get the 100 pages again read today. So I'm up to basically page 300. I'm up to page 292 in Foul Lady Fortune. This one is 500 pages, so I'm over halfway through, which is good. I just need to keep on going. I want to get this one read, finished this week. I'd like to get this one finished before the weekend, to be honest, because I really, really need to pick up Rouge again and read that. You've got Bracken's nose sniffing you now. Yeah, I really need to finish Rouge. I just find whenever I've been reading Rouge, I've been falling asleep. So I want to read something that I'm excited about reading, and like probably have Rouge as like a second book, as like a backup. And that's my plans. Sorry, I'm feeling, I don't really know if I've made any sense whatsoever. But I'm gonna make a move, take this one out for a morning walk, and we'll... Hello again from my bed. It is Wednesday night. I have made the decision that I am going to DNF Defy the Night. I'm 160-ish pages in. And yeah, basically I've decided that bookmark is out. It doesn't feel fair to me to read a book when it doesn't feel fair to the author, I guess, for me to read a book when I know I'm not enjoying it. I know I'm not going to give it any more than 2 stars. 2 stars would be a fairly generous rating at this point. And I've got no reason to actually read it. I'm just sort of basically reading it for the sake of it and to kind of hate review it. That just doesn't really feel fair to me. So I'm DNFing Defy the Night, which does mean in terms of Magical Readathon, because I am allowed to DNF, I have completed that prompt, which was an IG scroll. So that is, I think, 3 books down now. In terms of my 100 pages a day challenge, I've read 60 pages of Foul Lady Fortune, and I've read 20 pages of Defy the Night tonight, and now I've just decided, nah, gone. So I've read about 80 pages today, which is obviously less than 100, but I still feel is a pretty good amount. So yeah, I've DNF'd that one. I really need to read Rouge, and I really need to pick up again The Wind Through the Keyhole, and I guess make a decision on that one. The Wind Through the Keyhole is a weird one because I'm not, this sounds stupid, I'm not enjoying it, but I'm also not enjoying it. It's fine. I just I don't feel like any kind of plot has kicked in, and I don't feel like I'm connected to the characters. So I don't feel like I know really what's going on enough to say whether I'm liking it or not liking it. So I want to just carry on reading that one and get that one done. But my next priority is I need to finish Rouge. That needs to be done by the weekend because it's for work and it absolutely has to be done. But yeah, that's my update of DNF Defy the Night. Anyway, bedtime. Night. Good morning. Today it is Friday. Yesterday I read 130 pages of Foul Lady Fortune. I'm up to page 447 and there's like, I think it's just over 500 pages. So I've got like about 50 511 pages. I've got about 60 pages left, so I'm hoping, well, I will get this one finished today. I better put my bookmark back in before I lose my page. I will get this one finished today, which is exciting. And I know I've said this all week, but I really need to get Rouge finished. I am up to page 182, and this one is about 370 pages. So I'm about halfway-ish, and I really needed to get this one read. Like I've been saying, this is a book for work, and I need to get it done. That one's slightly harder. It's also been nearly 2 weeks since I last picked up The Wind in the Keyhole. The Wind Through the Keyhole. I don't know how many pages I am in this one. 39 pages in. I would like to get at least to the page 100 mark in The Wind Through the Keyhole, just because I would like to, mainly. I would like to like properly read this one and finish it. I just, at the moment, so this one, I don't know if I've explained. So this one is a kind of spin-off to Stephen King's Dark Tower sort of fantasy series, which I think is 7 or 8 books long. I can't tell, there's a sticker over it, it's a library book. But this one can be read as like additional after reading the series, or for new readers. You don't need to have read the series before reading this one, basically. But even with that, I'm finding there's a little bit of world building that I feel like I'm missing. And it's the sort of world building that I feel will come. I will get it. It just hasn't come yet. And I don't quite yet know what the plot is, or why our characters, sort of who our characters are and why they're doing what they're doing. Because obviously who they are and how they're together came in the last 7 stories. And we're not going to have a recap of that, obviously. That doesn't make sense. But in the 40 pages or so that I've read, it's been literally, they've been walking around, and that's about it. So I don't really know, like, Bracken, calm down. Don't really know. I'm not yet engaged, which is why I haven't picked it up in 2 weeks. But I would like to get through this one. So Fridays, I don't tend to work Fridays. I have got a tinsy bit of work that I need to do, probably for no more than an hour. And then I'm going to finish Foul Lady Fortune, try and smash out Rouge, and try and get through some of this one. I think if I could get to the 100-page mark in this one, and to like, well, my next break, how many? I've got 3 more sections to go in Rouge. So if I could get to my next section in Rouge, then I think I will start my next book, which probably should be, I probably need to make a decision on either The Obelisk Gate or Earthlings 2. I don't want to read either. Well, I do. I want to read The Obelisk Gate. I mean, it's the 25th. I've got 6 days. If I concentrate, I could read The Obelisk Gate in 6 days. I think I'm going to aim for The Obelisk Gate. And I guess as well, if we get to like the 30th and I'm no way going to finish it, I can always pick up this comic. Or I can switch it out for another book. Hi, darling. I know you want to go outside. And I know you're just being a pain, but I'm talking at the moment. Yes, I know. Hi. Go away now. Off me. Good girl. She's very, very needy. Very, very needy, aren't you? Anyway, that's my plans. I will get no reading done while I'm talking to you, so I better turn you off and start reading. Hello. So I realised I meant to do this update a while ago, and I forgot. Sorry if you can hear slurping. Bracken is eating her dinner. I finished Foul Lady Fortune today. Loved it. Gave it 4.5 stars. I'm going to round it down to a 4 rather than round it up to a 5. Just because while I did absolutely love it, I think the characters are fantastic. I think the plotting is fantastic. The world building is brilliant. I did feel like it took quite a while for the actual plot to get started. And this is quite a weird critique in my mind, because I loved the plotting. I thought it was done really, really well. but I did feel like it kind of dragged a little bit at the start, which is why, even though it came out as a 4.5, I'm going to round it down to a 4. Anyway, that gives me at least one more Magical Readathon prompt ticked off, potentially 2 if I decide on doubling it up. I have decided that my plan, so today it's Friday, like I said, I meant to do this update earlier this morning, but I just did not. So my plan for the weekend, it's bank holiday weekend, I want to get through a bit of Rouge. I want to pick up Wind Through the Keyhole again. I also would like to start the Obelisk Gate. So I've sort of decided that if I can, I want to try and read the Obelisk Gate. If I can't finish it, that's fine. I will just, you know, read the, I'm trying to see how long it is. It's appendix. It's got appendixes, 390 pages. So it's not hugely long, but that is quite a lot to read, and I know it's going to be fairly slow. If it seems like it gets towards the end of the month and I'm not going to finish it, then I have got this comic book from KU on standby. I'm not massively excited by it though. So if I can, if I can read this one, then I think my Magical Readathon is done. So I haven't read a book with a shield on the cover because I didn't want to, and I switched it out for a different book. Switched it out for Thank You for Sharing. So my seven prompts were an O for Elemental Studies, which is the word Earth and title. I've got the Obelisk Gate in for that one. If I can't get to that one, I've got a book on KU. I've got a comic. An O in Animal Studies, which was Pet Pick, and I've had trigger warning for that one. I've DNF'd that one, but my guild points allow me to count DNFs. An O in Astronomy, pick the same word as the last song I listened to. The last song I listened to was called Like I Used To, and I picked Lies Like Poison. Finished that one. Alchemy, first, an O in Alchemy is first in the series. So I've got Lady Midnight in for that one, but I can switch it. I can double up. So Foul Lady Fortune can count for that one as like a double. An O in Inscription is the end of year TBR, which I've read Foul Lady Fortune for. Shield, or Q in Inscription is Shield on the cover. I've switched that book completely for Thank You for Sharing, so I'm not actually doing the Shield on the cover prompt, but I've put Thank You for Sharing in for that space. And then Demonology was an IG scroll, and I had Defy the Night, which I've DNF'd. So because I have got 2 DNFs and I've got 1 switch, I would like to read Lady Midnight as well. Lady Midnight is enormous. So whether or not I'm going to get to it, I don't know. I'll be totally honest, I am quite disappointed with myself with this Magical Readathon. Normally I go hard on Magical Readathon and I finish all of my prompts, and then normally what I'll do is on the classes that I've got, I'll try and get all 3 prompts for every class, which would be 18 classes, and that's what I actually quite like to try and get to, which I know is ridiculous. But I'm going to struggle to get to 7. While I am a DNFer, I normally DNF 1 book a month maximum. So I've already DNF'd 2 books this month, which again is not good. So yeah, I would really like to get the Obelisk Gate and Lady Midnight read. I just don't know if it's reasonable. It's the 25th today. It's currently like 6 p.m. on the 25th. I have got this weekend. It is a long weekend, so I do have time, and I'm not like massively stressed about it. And again, it is only a readathon. If I don't complete it, it's not the end. It doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. But I would like to. So, yeah, the shield on the cover one, I'm not even going to attempt to read Woven in Midnight. It doesn't interest me enough to want to read it, so I'm just going to switch that one, and again, it's kind of shitty that I'm not going to be able to even attempt to read the prompt, but it is what it is. So, 4 magical readathon prompts completed, in a manner of speaking. Oh no, 5 magical readathon prompts completed in a manner of speaking. 2 of them are DNFs and 1 is a switch. 2 more to go. Wish me luck. Hello. I'm going to actually wrap this vlog up. Now it is Sunday, sort of lunchtime. I read nothing yesterday, 0 pages. Today I have been reading. I've read a bit of both of these ones, so I've read about 60 pages of Rouge and about 30 pages of The Wind Through the Keyhole. I am actually enjoying The Wind Through the Keyhole a little bit more, and same with Rouge. It hasn't sent me to sleep in the last couple of sections that I've read, so that's good. Still like, it's probably about, well, yeah, it's maybe not my favourite. I'm going to cut that out. I've also haven't read any of the Obelisk Gate today, but I am going to. I'm about, where am I? I'm 30 pages into the Obelisk Gate. So I think my plan is, I'm currently watching sprints with Leanne and Becca. So Leanne's got a 24-hour readathon, and she's doing sprints right up to 10 o'clock tonight. So it's about 1 p.m. now. I have got agility training with Bracken from 2:30. So I'm going to start editing this video now, hopefully get it uploaded, or at least exported before I go to agility. Then when I come back, it's going to be about 4ish. So then I'm going to spend the afternoon, evening reading. I look like I'm naked. I promise I'm not. I am actually wearing clothes. I just realised my hair was covering my straps then. So yes, I would like to try and make a good dent into the Obelisk Gate. I am enjoying it so far. If I could today get about 150 pages through, that would be fantastic. Wind Through the Keyhole is not for Magical Readathon. I'm about 100 pages in, and I'm up to the sort of 3rd section. So I've worked out it's a story within a story within a story. Matrix. But we start at the beginning with Roland as an adult, and him and his like gang are trapped by this like freak weather storm. So he tells them a story of him in his younger days, and within that story of him in his younger days, he is telling a 3rd story, which is The Wind Through the Keyhole. So I actually am quite enjoying this now. From even literally like 2 days ago being like, I don't like it, I'm now quite enjoying it. But in terms of Magical Readathon, I need to finish the Obelisk Gate, and I would like to read Lady Midnight. Now, if I don't get to Lady Midnight, it's not the end of the world, because if I haven't read that one, I have read other books that I can double up and use for Lady Midnight instead. I would also quite like to do the alchemy side quest, which was from the spring equinox. I started it in the spring equinox, but I only read 1 book for it. So I would like to kind of continue with that one if possible. It's very unlikely, but that might be my plan for like the next, to try and like kind of chip away at that one and then summon an Implin. I already know I can use the Atlas Paradox for summoning an Implin, which I think I'm planning on reading next month, hopefully. So if I can get to that one next month, then I can summon my Implin, and I already know I would be going for the lounging Implin. But yes, I need to finish the Obelisk Gate this month. Like I said, today it is the 27th, so there's 4 days left of the month, but tomorrow is bank holiday. So, plan of action, like I said, wrapping this vlog up. I'm getting there, promise. this afternoon, evening, when I finish the Obelisk Gate, well, when I make good progress into the Obelisk Gate, tomorrow I would like to again try and, I think I'm going to focus on the Obelisk Gate before I start reading Lady Midnight, just because I feel like I'd rather finish that one than be part way through too. I'm not 100% certain whether I'm going to get this one done by the 31st, which is Wednesday, I believe. Tomorrow might need to be like a full day of reading, but I am enjoying it. It is good. So we'll try and get that one. And again, I know Lady Midnight will be super, super, super quick to read, but I would need, if I'm going to be able to squeeze in Lady Midnight, I need to have this one probably finished tomorrow and give myself Tuesday and Wednesday to read Lady Midnight, which is cutting it incredibly fine. Not entirely sure that's possible. We will see. Anyway, this has been a very, very long and rambly update. So the plan really for this week was to aim to read 100 pages a day, which I pretty much have, except yesterday where I read 0 pages. So I feel like this has been a successful reading vlog. I have finished a few books, which is always good. DNF Defy the Night, but you know, it's off the TBR now at least, isn't it? So we are getting there. I am feeling like the end of Magical Readathon, which is now in sight, it is doable-ish. I don't think I'm going to have a vlog up next week. So next week I am at work, and then towards the end of the week, probably either Wednesday or Thursday, I'm heading back down to my parents in Devon for the weekend. And then after that, I'm hiring a camper van and going, basically travelling around the coast of Devon and Cornwall for the first week of September. So because of that, I don't know if I'm going to have time to edit a vlog for next Sunday, so I don't think I'm going to have anything uploaded next Sunday. But thank you so much for watching this incredibly long and rambly reading vlog. If you've been taking part in Magical Readathon, let me know how you've got on. And if you have made it this far, leave me a little like witch or wizard emoji. And if you like this video, leave me a like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!